Hey up, Sofa Squad. We are live back with another edition of On the Sofa. And boy, we got a show for you this evening. So much is happening still.
Oh, am I allowed to speak?
Yes,
Oh, yes, I agree.
so much.
I'm just gonna. I know you're a professional these days, so I know you've got a script. Unlike certain other channels.
Yes, certain other channels that we're going to, a certain channel in particular that we're going to talk about in a bit. Wild Eden is here. She's saying good evening.
Good evening, Wild Eden.
So let's start with the first story. If I can press the right button. Right. So, yeah. Andrew Neil launches GB News with some technical difficulties.
Oh, you're doing it already? I thought this was going to be later on.
Oh, no, no. I
You,
thought
you,
we'd
you, you're going
start with this one.
straight for the good stuff.
Straight. Yeah, exactly. Straight for the jugular.
Oh, I've got a funny one about that. You know, I've got so much shit in my brain about this channel, but I will let you carry on.
We're proud to be British, says Andrew Neil.
Oh, Britannia.
Um, Even though he lives in France.
And the channel is funded by people who are not British.
Yes. Yeah, this is also true.
When I say funded, I use that term lightly. Because they can't afford fucking cameras or microphones.
What what technical difficulties have you been watching any of it?
Not live, hell no. I've just been seeing the clips that people have been hilariously sharing on the Twitters, which have had me in stitches. I've got to admit, there's a Twitter account that's solely devoted to sharing these things. If you've not seen it, I think it's at GB News Fails,
Yeah.
which has been trending all day long on Twitter. I tried to look at if you go to the website, you can watch it being streamed. I've tried that, but it doesn't work for me. But I would never actually watch it live. Fuck no. I mean, I know I'm weird, but I'm not that weird.
So they've been having technical difficulties, and
No, Mike, they're teething problems.
teething problems.
That's what all the gammon have been saying. They're just teething problems.
Okay. Uh, what other problems have they been experiencing?
Hang on a sec. Were you asking me or just speaking aloud there?
I'm asking you.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, well, I couldn't even begin to start on that one. I really couldn't. I mean, it's just a clusterfuck of. Oh my gosh.
I mean, if I
I've com-
say,
I've compared it. Others have made similar comparisons. I've compared it to maybe a public access channel in America from 1981. I
yes,
mean, it's utterly shite. It really is. And you know, the Gammony people are saying, well, it's the first day, teething problems. And my head tells me, well, are you that stupid? Because they have been rehearsing for weeks. And also, it's now 5 days in. and
Yeah.
it's still an absolute shit show. Now, I had this sussed very early on because the budget was very small. It's not, or the funds they were given were not enough to run a TV channel. They absolutely were not. And they were, I think, relying on the fact that they would get advertisers. Well, that's not working out too well. And I think they might have blown a little bit too much of their budget on their three big stars, which are the ex-newsreaders from proper news channels. I should have come prepared for this because I accidentally stumbled upon some before its launch day. I stumbled upon a few pictures that were kind of behind the scenes and what have you. And honestly, oh God, you just wouldn't believe it. It's like they've done everything except for little things like getting cameras. It's such a cluster. I've got a list as long as my leg, shall we say, of all the fuck-ups I've seen. But can I just do my thing now quickly before I forget? Because you said you were going to go for the jugular.
Okay, go on then.
All right, before I forget this one. Because I find this really quite amusing. One of the big star names that they signed up is a chap called Colin Brazier. He worked for ITN for decades and then moved to Sky. Now, whilst he was at ITN, he did a couple of naughty things and got into trouble. I can't remember the second thing he did, but the first one, he was on camera rummaging through the personal belongings of the victims of the MH16 air disaster thing. So he's a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
Before GB News went live, I'd never seen his Twitters before. He was posting the most racist garbage you've ever seen. So I thought, this guy's not well at all. He's totally gone down the right-wing rabbit hole. But before the Sunday when it went live, there was a tweet from a few days prior where he said, if GB News ever get people on to talk about to analyse the body language of the royal family, I will open a vein, meaning he'll slash himself. Guess what they did on the first day of GB News? They had a fucking body language expert on who was analysing the body movements of I can't even remember who it was, a royal and somebody else. Oh my gosh, it's so hilarious. And if you've been watching these clips, that guy Colin Brazier, he's embarrassed. He really is. I mean, he's burst out laughing. He's put his head in his hands and all sorts. He's realising he's made a mistake. Anyway, I'm loving this. I mean, it's cruel to laugh at these people, but you know what? They're dicks, so...
Yeah. And also, they, people have been calling in with some interesting names. The thing is, Mike, that kind of thing isn't funny, except it is. It's hilarious because it's so juvenile. And it's basic TV 101. You don't let the presenters get hold of the emails before they've been looked at. And the wonderful thing about that one of the other TV professionals, newsreaders that they poached, I forget his name, McCoy. What is he? Philip McCoy. I think so, yeah.
I mean, that was a shocker when he did this, when he went to them. But what did he do, Mike? What did he do about this?
He made it worse by biting. And he went on a...
Live on air. He went on a rant and live on air he said, please stop doing this.
We've got enough to worry about as it is. Oh God.
I feel so sorry for that guy, because for people who are not familiar with Philip, what's his name? Is it Philip? Simon? No, what's his name?
So, I think it's Simon. Simon.
Whatever.
Yeah.
McCoy. Everybody knows him, but we can't remember his name. But we all love him because he was one of the best BBC newsreaders ever. Because he's well known for bursting out laughing at inappropriate times.
Yeah.
And one of his best things ever, which is a personal favourite of mine, was 5 years ago or something, when they cut back to him in the studio. He doesn't too early. You'll have seen this, Mike.
Yeah.
And he's caught unawares holding a ream of A4 copier paper. And to look natural, he pretends it's an iPad. That's just a classic bit of TV. He's holding a piece of A4, a packet of A4, and he holds it like it's an iPad. Nobody will notice. Oh God, I'm literally crying now because GBB's is just absolutely hilarious. So funny.
And what were have you seen my new name?
Oh, there were more. I mean, that was trending. My cunt was trending. I mean, since Sunday, trending in UK Twitter land, it's all been about GBBs. And my cunt was trending on Twitter, and I've never said that before.
Yes, say the name out loud 6 times quickly, Wild Eden.
Just say it once. I mean, that was enough to get us all laughing. But like I said, the whole thing is so amateur. And what it seems to me is the case that they've blown the tiny budget on these 3 news people. They've got all the right-wing grifters, the usual crowd in. They don't get paid very much. But the actual people who are doing what should be the hard work, the behind-the-scenes people, I can bet you any money that these are just young kids with zero experience whatsoever. To me, that's very obvious. They haven't got a clue what they're doing.
I was about to say that. They come across as a group of 6th formers who are doing this as a school project.
The mistakes that they're making are so utterly basic. They clearly have no experience whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now, I can say this because I'm a nerd. They literally do not know. They've never done this before. So my theory, if you like, is that on the cheap, they've employed a bunch of kids who've fresh from college, who've just got their new certificate in media studies. They don't know what they're doing whatsoever. They don't know the basic rules of making television.
Yeah.
And you know what? They can't even spell. I mean, the spelling mistakes on the fucking lower thirds, on the fucking captions, are just hilariously stupid. They spell everybody's name wrong.
Yeah.
You've got to follow if anybody's I think you've got to be British to get this, but it's like Fox News, but shit. I mean, is that a possible thing? Yes. Why, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's a clusterfuck. It really is.
It is, yeah. It's really bad.
It's terrible.
but those aren't the only problems they're having.
No. Is this a pause or you're doing your thing?
Yeah.
Damn, you've got to be more snappy, Mike. Come on, this
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
GBBs. Come on.
Uh, I mean, I've got an excuse. I'm just you know, a tiny YouTube channel. That's what's their excuse?
This is the thing. This is the thing. Your output is better than theirs. Go figure.
Exactly. But they're having more than just teething problems because big brands have been pulling ads from GB News as well over content concerns. Brands like IKEA, Grolsch, and Copperberg.
Oh yes, this is so funny. This is so funny. And the Gammons hate this so much
Yeah.
because they're very against cancel culture,
Yes.
of course. And they're calling this cancel culture. And so and so to get their own back, they're going to boycott these companies. One of which, these advertisers who've, to be fair, not all of them have actually said, okay, this is shit, we're not going to advertise. What they've done, they've said, we weren't aware of this because the companies themselves don't book the adverts. They pay Sky Media to place their adverts amongst the channels carried by Sky. So they're unaware of this. They did not know. So what they've said, in fairness, they've said, okay, we'll stop doing it. We're going to review the situation and see how it goes. Okay, but the Gammons, of course, well, we're going to get our revenge and we're going to boycott these companies. One of these companies is the Open University.
Yes. Yeah.
The Gammons are going to boycott the Open University. and
you couldn't make it up, could you?
You really couldn't. I mean, this is the funniest thing ever. This is the producers, it really is.
Yeah.
But one of the early Gammon protesters, a person on the Twitters posted a picture. They took a picture of the contents of their fridge. And within that fridge was that cider, what is it called? Copperberg.
Yeah.
They had some Copperberg and they said, I'm going to pour this down the fridge. I'm going to pour this down the sink.
Yeah.
That's a very Fox News way of boycotting because you've already bought it, you dickhead.
Yes, you've already given them money.
That's not a boycott. That's not a boycott. I love it when they try to boycott things. I'm enjoying this so much. I could do this for hours. It's a little bit of happiness in a very sad world.
Yes. It's a bit of
it's a bit of comic relief.
Schadenfreude.
That's the guy, yeah.
But the article goes on. GB News, the television channel that launched this week with backing from pro-Brexit tycoons and a mission to produce anti-woke US-style news content, is facing an advertiser backlash after big consumer brands, including IKEA, Nivea, and Grolsch, said that they would pull their adverts from the network.
The Gammons are now boycotting these companies. They're going to boycott Nivea.
Yes. But there is
Go on, sorry.
There is a serious side to this as well.
Oh, there is, yeah.
Yeah. About how they've been funded. Because they've they've been partially funded by two um, conservative lords.
That was actually quite slick there, Mike. Well done.
Almost. I'm getting better.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it again. You're actually 4.7 times slicker than GBBs.
Well, at least that's something.
And all you've got is a laptop and a Cylon headset.
And we've got Ox. We've got Ox in the side chat as
Yay!
well. So welcome, Ox.
Hey, Ox.
This is an exclusive from Byline Times. Yeah, they're very good at uncovering this kind of stuff. And they've discovered that well, it says two conservative lords who formerly served as treasurers of the Conservative Party own shares in the controversial new TV network GB News.
Garlic bread news. Ox. This is. I feel guilty almost because it's cruel to mock the afflicted. It really is. I'm joking. I'm loving every minute.
As revealed by journalist Henry Dyer, Lord Michael Spencer of Aylesford and is listed as a shareholder in All Perspectives Limited, the firm that owns GB News. Byline Times can further reveal that Lord Michael Farmer similarly holds shares in All Perspectives Limited. Each has a shareholding in the company worth more than £50,000, thus requiring a declaration in their register of interests.
Mm-hmm.
The Treasurer is one of the most senior positions in the Conservative Party, responsible for party fundraising. Lord Spencer held the role from 2007 to 2010 and Lord Farmer from 2011 to 2015.
Yeah, the funding thing. I mean, that's a tricky one because they were basically given a wad of cash to go and play at television.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough cash to actually play at doing television. If you look at, I can't remember what the figure was. I really can't remember, but it's not enough to do television. So I've got to ask myself, why would they do this? Why would people give them money knowing full well that it's not enough to do television? And the answer is very simple to me. It isn't. It was never intended to be proper television. It's just the usual. It's similar to talk radio, as in the radio station. It's just pumping out bile and it's telling the gammons what to be outraged about.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Fun fact that I picked up on the day before GBB's launched, and the gammons still haven't clocked onto this little gem. I've got a picture that was posted by one of the production people at GBB's from the gallery. And I'm not going to get technical because I'm a nerd, but you can see the running order on the screen of what, it's a rehearsal. You can see the running order of a Saturday of what is going to be shown on GBB's. All the programmes from like 6 a.m. till whatever time it finishes. This programme, this programme, this programme, this programme. What is one thing that you do not see on that list? Any news? There's no fucking news on it.
That's
Now,
true.
it's very true, and I've got the receipts. Now, I find this quite bizarre for a news channel not to have any news.
Yeah.
That's really weird. And if you did get to watch the opening monologue, let us call it, where oh bless you, Aldies, and please don't look at my channel. Please don't look at my channel. Damn, have I got a fan? I've lost the plot now. I should be on GBBs. I've totally lost it now. Where was I going? There's no news, and that's weird. Oh yeah, in Andrew Neil's opening monologue on GBB's launch, he actually says live on air
Yeah.
from a shipping container in darkness. He actually says to camera, "This is not a normal news channel. There will be no bulletins." He basically says there will be no news.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I'm not making this up, they have got segments called Woke Watch.
And yeah, and you know, that's the big selling point. That is their only selling point, because Andrew Neil he planted that phrase in the heads of the gammons a few months ago. And of course that gets them all excited and they all get erections and wank over it. Woke watch. Yeah. Ooh. I mean, these are grown-ups.
Yeah.
And this is a supposed news channel. Woke watch.
It brings me back to what I said earlier about, it just comes across as, sixth formers trying to be edgelords, doing a TV show for film and media studies project or something.
Yeah, you're quite correct. The whole premise of GBBs is let's sell outrage to the gammon and to, yes, I'm going to say this, don't hate me, and to the uneducated. It's basically a dog whistle to the racists and the fuckwits. That was always a given. That's always what it was going to be. Very obvious from the outset. But what makes it so beautiful is they are so crap at it.
Yeah.
Follow that person on the Twitters, whatever it's called, at GB Fails, I think it is. I forget. Because he / she, I have no idea, is documented, and he / she, I don't know. It's literally documenting all the fails. Oh, GB Fails, that's the one.
That's the one, yeah.
It's documenting all the fails with, yay, look at that.
Ah.
That's literally the first time I've ever seen that.
Cool.
You know what? I set that fucking thing up about a year ago and I've never seen it before. I'm going to get myself a job at GBB's because I don't know how I did that. I've no idea how I fucking did that. Look, my hands are here. I did nothing. Wow, I'm magic. That's cool. Lovely. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But please don't watch my stuff because it's embarrassing. Mike can verify this. I'm not a pro like Mike. Mike is so much. Mike is a professional now. He's got a book, by the way, Wild Eden. Check his Twitter bio, look at the link, and buy his book.
Cool. Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot. Yeah. That's it's available on Kindle.
By the way,
2020.
By the way, I wasn't aware that I was advertising on this channel, so I'm going to have to review the situation.
Yes. Okay, fair enough. We've been talking about GB News for half an hour.
And we could go on for another 5 hours because I'm loving this so much.
We
You
could, but
should you should do a special.
I should do, yeah. But we've got so much. There's so much other news happening.
Is there?
So yeah.
Where will you not see that being covered?
Um.
Yay, godless! Yay!
So what next? Ah, here we go. COVID-19. Boris Johnson survives Conservative rebellion as MPs back delay of lockdown easing until the 19th of July.
Oh no, you do your. I can't remember what you call your segment, Mike. The thing that you do later. Oh, I hate.
Tory twats.
Yeah. Well, I think I think this sums it up. Really, that picture just sums it up.
Well, as you know, on Monday, our glorious leader announced that Freedom Day was going to be delayed.
Did you ever watch The In-Betweeners?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Do you remember? Oh, friend.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, freedom.
It's going to be delayed because of the Delta virus. Because it spreads a lot quicker than the Alpha virus, apparently, and it's causing havoc. And so they, of course, when decisions like this need to go through the House of Commons, there needs to be a vote, and Boris Johnson faced rebellion from his backbenchers. Yeah. It says here, Boris Johnson faced a rebellion from some Conservative MPs who disagreed with the measures being continued into next month, but the regulations passed by 461 votes to 60. 51 Tory MPs rebelled by opposing the regulations, but Labour backed the plans.
I wonder which particular Tories voted against it. Let me ponder this for half a second. Pondered. It's the ERG.
They have listed some in this article, I think.
Who are now cunningly given themselves a sneaky new name, the CRG. Damn it! If it wasn't for you pesky kids, we would never have fucking noticed you'd change your name. You fascist Nazi fuckers. Oh, sorry. Freedom of speech, yeah.
Yes. But Mark Harper, who chairs the Lockdown Skeptic COVID Recovery Group.
Godless Soin just made a good point.
Alluding to.
Godless Soin just made a good point.
Let's have a look.
If you're on the ball, Mike, you'd put it on screen. There you go.
I've only got one screen. That's the problem. Anyway, Freedom Day sounds like you have to wear a brown shirt and march in line.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so Mark Harper, he's one of the Tory MPs who voted against it. Who voted against Boris, and Sir
I'm
Desmond Swain.
I'm now trying to work out if Mark Carper is one of those funny names that we've fallen into GBBs with. No, it sounds legit. That's okay.
Do, you know who Sir Desmond Swain is, don't you?
Oh God, he's such a. Oh, I've not got my bleep machine. I'm not allowed to, I'm trying my best to stop saying the C word because it upsets the Americans. I don't mind calling Godless Sewing a cunt, but apart from that, I will not use the C word ever.
Oh, I see.
They should get me on GBBs. I'd be an awesome presenter.
Yeah, you would, definitely.
I'm a pro.
Yeah.
I can read autocue without being a racist fuck. I mean, it's not difficult, is it?
No.
In the list of rules of life, there are two. One, don't be a dick. Two, don't advertise to the nation that you're a racist dick. I mean, come on, it's not hard work, is it?
No. So, but moving on.
To the people inside chat, I bet you 3 guineas because, oh yes, I know Mike's not going to cover this, but one of our lovely Tory C words is advocating that now we've left the EU, we can go back to using the imperial system.
I am going to cover it, actually.
Oh, damn you, you fuck fart. You cunt. But I bet you 3 guineas, actually not guineas because that's a load of money. 2 shillings, maybe a farthing, maybe a farthing if you're lucky, that Mike will end this broadcast perfectly on time because he's a professional, not like these idiots.
I try. Well, I try my best anyway. The UK-Australia trade deal. A tale of Brexit insanity.
Liz Truss is a... No, I'm not going to say it.
Because it's actually going to harm British farmers. Did you know that?
Who are you asking?
You.
Yeah, I think I'm aware of that.
And it's not, you know. Sorry, if I can get the words out. It's all about looking good. It's all about, you know, making Brexit look good. It's all about, you know, keeping up appearances for Boris Johnson.
I hated that show. I just didn't find it funny. Sorry, I digress.
But
I bet you loved it though, didn't you?
I did actually. I thought it was quite good.
Just to be awkward, you had to like it. You were the one, weren't you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to skip a lot of this article because it takes him a while to get to the point. So I'm going to read from here. The proposed deal might help boost sales for the Scottish whisky trade and possibly the London beer trade, which exported £40 million worth of beverages to Australia in 2019. But the government's own figures show that the deal would, at best, only increase exports to Australia by some 7% and add 0.01% to GDP, about £500 million over the next 15 years.
Yay!
That 0.01% is roughly akin to the GVA, gross value added, to the UK economy by the Harrods department store in Knightsbridge in 2020.
Just to get boring and nerdy, because we know that's how I roll. That was a cool. You were really good at this, Mike. You were getting so professional. I've been watching GBBs too much. I mean, you are slick, man. You are so slick. I'm impressed, dude. Hey, buy his book. So, the thing about Scotch whiskey, this is a slight kind of segue. It's not a segue, but it's a divergence. You know what the biggest harm to the exports of Scotch whiskey was?
What's that?
When Trump imposed tariffs, which recently, I think yesterday or the day before, Biden has said, fuck that, they go away. We'll look at it again in 5 years' time. But you remember, I don't want to bring the orange fuck stain into this, but you know when he got shitty and pissy and said, whoa, we're going to impose tariffs on you. And so the exporters of Scotch whiskey lost a shit ton of money because of these tariffs. I mean, massive amounts of money. Much more bigger than the benefits that the trade deal you're now talking about will ever give us back.
Yeah.
That's all about airplanes. But I'm not going to go into there because I'm enjoying this so much. I don't want to bore people. I'm going to be honest here because I'm honest. Wild Eden subscribed to my YouTube channel, obviously an idiot, and I saw that thing on my screen and I've never seen it before and I'm so fucking happy.
Cool.
I'm
Brilliant.
easily pleased. I'm so easily pleased. Also, for the benefit of new viewers, I am a dick and I've got a bad habit of trying my best to distract Mike. That's my thing. But he's getting so much better at not falling for my little ruses.
I try. I think I'm used to it now.
You're a professional. I've actually already sent your CV to GBBs.
Thanks. So this is the story you were alluding to earlier. This is from the New European.
That was slick. Dude, you are so professional. You know, I remember back in the old days when you were shit.
Charming. Brexiteers propose return of imperial measurements in report on reducing red tape. And talking of people we're going to see next Tuesday.
Do we see you next Tuesday? Is that Ian Duncan Smith?
It is, yeah.
Not his real name. Not his real name, by the way. Kind of weird how his picture popped up when we were talking about see you next Tuesday.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was going for.
Oh shit! Did I spoil it?
The famous bogey eater. He's involved in this story apparently.
Of course he is. He is such a massive lying piece of shit. He's despicable.
Well, he's a Tory, so what do you expect? But Boris Johnson has said that a path through the thicket of burdensome and restrictive regulation must be cleared to fulfill the potentials of Brexit. A report from Task Force on Innovation, Growth and Regulatory Reform, led by Ian Duncan Smith, has described Brexit as a one-off opportunity to reduce red tape and set out a new regulatory framework. So what that basically means is that they want to make things easier for themselves and their friends,
What it
and for
what it
corporate conglomerates, yeah, multinational companies.
what it basically means, and obviously I can't see your text because this is a thing where you're not quite getting it right here, but we can talk about this later. Bit of a production value slip here. When they talk about regulatory, what was the phrase? Regulatory what?
Regulatory reform.
Oh yes, of course, yeah. I've banged on about this forever. I'm not going to talk about the B word. Not going to go there, but I've maintained since day one that the whole point of the B word was about regulatory alignment with the EU. These fuckers hate it.
Yeah.
That's why we are now running halfway around the fucking planet to get a stupid trade deal. Rather than going, oh, I don't know, 20 miles away.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the biggest scam ever. But
It is.
whatever. I've spent 6 years banging on about this and I'm tired of telling idiots of being idiots, so whatever. I'm a nobody. You see, I'm not posh and famous like you, Mike. I've not got a professional TV channel like you, like what you have. I'm a nobody. I have no voice.
Oh. But
It's gone quiet in side chat. Have we bored them?
I think probably. I'll just read this paragraph and then we'll move on. The report claims the 1985 Weights and Measures Act, which makes it an offence for traders to use imperial without metric, has long been identified as an example of overly prescriptive EU regulation. They say the legislation should be amended to scrap such a requirement.
This is just another example of a dog whistle to the idiots. Because, when was the last time you went into a pub?
A couple of weeks ago, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I've not been in one for 10 years. But I can tell, yeah, I live a full and fulfilled life. But if you get a pint in a pub, look at the glass that it's in. And it will say on it, 1 pint.
Yeah.
It's make-believe outrage.
Yeah.
As always, this is what the UK is now. It's all, and this goes back to GBBs, it's all outrage, be outraged, think this, be upset about this. Yeah, exactly. Be angry about this.
Yeah.
But there's actually nothing to be angry about.
No.
By any product in the UK. That's an easy example. A pint glass will say a pint, and I'm quite sure that maybe I'm not sure about this. Maybe somewhere it has how many metrics it is. I don't know. but it still says a pint.
Yeah.
You go into your supermarket and you buy a random item of food, it will say so many grams, but somewhere it will have the equivalent in old-fashioned money. So
Mm.
it's an absolute misnomer that we are not allowed to use imperial measurements. It's complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Yeah. It's bollocks.
Absolute bollocks.
Yeah.
I don't,
Um,
Ox. I'm quite upset about him. I'm perturbed, Ox. What? Well, why would you insinuate such a thing? I'm a lovely person. Everybody knows this. I'm lovely and happy. I have a beard.
to, yeah. Talking of you're talking of pubs. Yeah.
It's an imperial beard. It's not metric.
Do you have a local stall
No, no,
where
no.
everyone
Not.
knows your name?
Oh, we're not allowed to play that. Fun and sad fact.
Mm.
I actually, I don't want to get serious, but it is quite a shame that because of the COVID years, lots of pubs are now going out of business. But fun/sad fact, when I moved back into this area about 7 years ago, what used to be an area where you had a local place where everybody knows your name, all completely gone now.
Yeah.
There is none of that anymore.
No. I
Quite a
was
shame. It's a bit of a sorry.
I was visiting home. My mum and dad a couple of a few weeks ago, and the village where they live and where I was brought up. The two pubs that I considered my two local pubs where I knew everyone
And
um,
everybody knew your name.
and everyone knew me. They're gone now. Yeah,
Do 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 do.
well,
No.
one of them is a block of flats, and I think the other one's going to get turned into just a residential house. I think.
Yeah. The ones that it was quite a shock for me when I moved back here because all those places are now gone. They've either been demolished or turned into something else. It is a weird thing to see.
Yeah.
But I don't I don't actually give a shit about pubs. It's not a big thing on my list of priorities. But I think it kind of went down a long time before the gammons fucked everything up. I think it might have been the smoking ban. Not sure, don't know.
That contributed, surely. Yeah.
I think we almost got a little bit serious there, Mike. I don't mean it in a sex way. I like you, but I've got limits.
It did get a bit serious, a bit deep, even.
A bit. Oh, that is what she said. But this is a thing that puzzled me during the COVID arguments. All these people, all these very vocal people on the Twitters, kept shouting, "Open the pubs."
Yeah.
Seriously, that's your most important thing in the world. How sad is your life?
Yeah.
And I've got to do a bit of history now because I live, well, you know in which town I live. I live literally in COVID Central. The epicenter of every fucking variant of COVID ever is outside these walls. It's scary.
Yes.
But what the hell was that?
I don't know.
Did a random person just make make a noise. That was weird. I've lost the plot. I'm totally GBBs now because I've lost the plot. I need autocue. Where was I going?
I don't know.
That took me by surprise. I've lost it. It was about pubs, but I don't know. I've got nothing. Totally forgotten. You can tell I'm out of practice. This is why I don't fucking stream or join people's streams.
Yeah.
Since I got my first jab, I can feel the 5G going through my veins, and it's having a weird effect on me. Random things keep sticking to my head. It's weird.
Yeah.
You must carry on because I've literally forgotten what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm gonna send it to GB News, Mike, because they'd love me. I'm awesome for that job.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we move on?
That's kind of your catchphrase, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I guess it is one of my. It's become one of my catchphrases. Do 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 do. Talk amongst yourselves.
Slipping. Getting amateur now.
Yeah. Fucking hopeless. Cummings leaks PM's WhatsApp exchange over Hancock. Did you see any of this?
I did, yeah. It's a tricky one because obviously Cummings is a lying piece of shit. However, when he did that really long thing in that committee or whatever it was that went on for like 8 hours,
Yeah.
he was saying things that were true.
Yeah.
I know he was saying things that were true because I'm a dick and I remember everything. I literally remember everything. And he was saying things that I remembered about Hancock.
Yeah.
And Hancock is a lying piece of shit. He really is.
Yeah. But that was the time to share these WhatsApp images at the inquiry. Not now.
Well, yeah, I agree. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think we should necessarily overthink this because if he's been asked to give his recollections of a certain thing, would he necessarily turn up with the receipts? I don't know.
Probably, I don't know. Probably not.
I don't know. I mean, if somebody said to you, do you recollect this thing? And you said, yes, this is what happened. Would you have proof in your pocket? Maybe not.
No. Well, yeah, you got a point.
It's a tricky one because we all know that Cummings is a nasty piece of shit. But it was the way that he talked about Hancock that rang a bell with me.
Yeah.
It was obvious from day one. And when I say day one, I'm going back to you remember how we used to have the daily COVID briefings on TV? Yeah. I knew that. I almost called you dude. Sorry. Oh God. I almost went 80s. It was so obvious to me that twat was a lying piece of shit.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not a famous author, so my words mean nothing.
Oh dear. But if Boris Johnson really thought that Matt Hancock is fucking useless, why didn't he sack him?
It's a good question. Well, it's kind of a good question, but it's an obvious question because we all know, anybody who's been paying attention for the last 20 years knows that Johnson is a useless, incompetent, lying piece of fuck, shit, wank, bollocks. Everybody knows this. It's not a secret. It's not breaking news.
No.
It really isn't. So Cummings, I don't read the Cummings blog. That sounded a bit porny, but whatever. I don't read the Cummings blog, but apparently he's been doing one of his things where he waffles on and on and on. And he did say some things about how the Johnson behaves during Cobra meetings. Is it true? Is it not true? I've no idea. I wasn't there because, bizarrely, I don't get invited to Cobra meetings. Which I think is a fucking shame because I'd be awesome.
That's a travesty.
It is a travesty. I'm now thinking about ABBA songs. What's that ABBA song?
Tragedy.
Tragedy. Oh, yes. This is why I love your shows. Tangent.
Yes, exactly.
I love ABBA. Can we just say a quick thing? Wild Eden, who I'm totally scared of because subscribe to my YouTube channel, is in Scotland. So yay. I lived there for 12 years and it was shit. So there you go. I'm going to be so awesome on GBBs. I could do I could be one of their roving reporters.
Yes, you could.
They could send me to Scotland with a really shit mic that doesn't work. And I'd say, Scotland, it's shit. I'm joking, don't worry.
So, and finally...
Oh, yay! I love this bit.
We've actually got two and finally stories.
Can I do a quick? Can I do it? Can I do it? A little quick one, please.
Go on then.
Little quick. I won't make you go too much over time. I'm very cognizant of the fact that you watch the clock and you've gone over, so I'll keep this brief. The guy on GBB's, the what's he called, the McCoy person.
Yeah.
And it's gone again. What? This is not me. I don't know what's happening. It's totally gone. To be in my defence, I've taken 2 paracetamol.
Ah, that'll be it then. They've kicked in. They're making you drowsy.
I'm not. I'm wide awake. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to? That's not copyrighted. You can sing that if you want.
Let's start with this one. 3 Bell Ends pub renamed to the 2 Helmets in new dig at Boris and Hancock.
Oh, okay. I don't want to do the explaining on this one because Americans don't necessarily understand one of those words. Yeah. Maybe I should do a little series on my lovely YouTube channel where I explain these words to Americans.
Yes, that'd be interesting.
I'm not going to do that. What are they selling? Oh, the two helmets.
This is a pub. This is a Merseyside pub in the Wirral. A pub has rebranded for the second time in a year to have another dig at Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock. Landlord Daniel Davies is now calling his Wirral pub the Two Helmets and has installed a new sign showing the politicians in hard hats. He previously christened the pub the Three Bellends, with Special Advisor Dominic Cummings making up the trio.
I look after you so much. I think I'm getting words from the lawyers. Hang on. No, we are allowed to say bellend.
Ox is saying, I'm American and I know what a bellend is, so ha!
Ox, don't run around in public shouting that.
OMG, that was my cousin Braun.
I don't know what that means.
And finally,
have you ever played with live subtitles, Mike?
No, I haven't.
Because when you're broadcasting on the YouTube, you can actually have live subtitles.
I did not know that.
Oh God, I'm so boring. Sorry, carry on.
Harley Quinn, why Batman sex scene idea was binned. Have you heard about this?
I've seen the story, but I can't remember. Oh, is it about Batman being... Oh, I've got a vague memory. Go on, what is it?
Okay. The creators of the adult animated Batman spin-off series Harley Quinn have said DC comic bosses vetoed their idea to include a graphic sex scene. The HBO Max show centers around the titular DC Comics villain voiced by the Big Bang Theory star Kaylee Cuoco. But it was a suggested liaison between lovers Batman and Catwoman that was deemed inappropriate, as the characters had been originally aimed at children. Do you know what Batman was going to do to Catwoman?
Damn it, I'm pretty sure you're witnessing live now on GBBs me having early onset dementia. I can't remember what the fuck this story is about.
Oh, sorry, Ox was saying that pic you had up of the wrestler Braun Strowman is my third cousin on my mother's side. Ah, okay. Anyway, apparently there was going to be a scene where Batman goes down on Catwoman. But it got axed. It got axed apparently because it was deemed inappropriate. And,
I've got literally nothing to add to this.
Is this a first? Are you speechless?
No, I'm never speechless, but I just don't give a shit. It's a cartoon. Get over it. And by the way, Star Trek is better than Star Wars. Fuck you.
And on that bombshell, we're going to wrap things up. And if you have got if you got this far in the stream, then do, and and you're not subscribed already, then do subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss another video. And
Yeah, seriously, if I can do this for 1 hour and 11 minutes, then you can too.
And if you want,
And by the way, Mike, don't say hit your bell, okay?
I can do what I like. It's my show.
Oh,
And if you want to support the channel, the links are in the description.
Andrew Neil would never have been so rude.
Okay, thanks to everyone in the chat, and thank you, Stool, as ever, for joining me. And I will see you anon.